Good morning, everyone. So I said I would do a show and tell. I always have to cut a little bit of this off because, it comes up and it annoys me. Anyway, thank you for your lovely comments. And, any new subscribers, welcome. I'm really motivated at the moment and just going for it big time, so lots of videos coming out. So these are the hearts that I'm making for my niece's wedding party. Well, it's the hen party. I've got another one to make and a small one. I'm going to make one for my granddaughter as well. She is one of the bridesmaids. So anyway, this is what I'm up to, what I was up to yesterday. I was making those. They're going to be, I've got lots of laces here that I'm going to be adding to them and, embellishing with lots of different things. Well, I'm not sure actually. I'm not sure how much embellishment I'm doing. So what I've done is I've lined them. I'll just get one that isn't quite... this one here. So I've just lined the edges with this muslin so that it gives a nice fluffy effect on the edge, and then I will pull some of the threads to create more of a fluffy edge. Just like on this one, you can see some of the muslin, and that's fine. I want them to be very informal looking, very shabby. Some of them have stains on, that's okay. That's why I used this linen in the first place, but that will be covered over with different, just different fabrics and things. Anyway, I've showed you that. I picked this up the other day at a charity shop, and I thought I'd just go do a quick show and tell of some of the things I've got recently. I've got one of these somewhere. I don't know if it's the same one, but I do have one of these. I think there was a series of them, but they're quite interesting and they are vintage. Price £6. This book has been produced in order to widen the range of embroidery stitches for the needle woman. Well, that's not sexist at all. Anyway, but yes, so I realise that it is mostly women that do their stitching, but anyway, big assumptions there, but it was of the time, so anyway, shouldn't really point it out, I guess. So right, what else have I got to show you? So I have a couple of books I wanted to show you. I'm sorry, I'm just a bit... So these books that I want to show you. So the first one is, I'll remove the two bigger ones because they're distracting. This is, this was written and produced for an exhibition at the Bodleian, I think it was the Bodleian, let me just check. Oh, it's the Ashmolean, so the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford, and yeah, so it was in response to that. So there's lots of information about some of the projects. I believe some of the students who are doing raised embroidery work were given the opportunity to make some to as part of the exhibition, and so it says the revival of the stump work. When the Dictionary of Needlework was published in 1882, Saward was correct in noting that embroidery on the stump has no counterpart in modern times. The fashion for raised work in the home had petered out by the early 1700s. However, by the late 19th century, this had begun to change. Women's journals and needlework magazine promoting the practice of art embroidery very occasionally featured historic specimens. So it's, highlighting and promoting this stump work. But this is obviously older work, but yeah, I just thought this was interesting. I do like these sort of, I don't know what you'd call them, you know, catalogues, if you like, or brochures. Or I think this is more than a catalogue, because it's actually an accompaniment to the, you know, to the yeah, the exhibition. So there's, right, so they're the ladies who are, yeah, these are the students who did the work. I don't know if they're all students, but anyway, it was an interest to me. It's called the Needles Excellency English Raised Embroidery. In spring 2017, the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford hosted an exhibition of contemporary raised work made by students of ornamental embroidery. The Needles Excellency was accompanied by a symposium in which scholars and practitioners explored many aspects of the exuberant three-dimensional technique from its origins in mid-17th century England through to its revival in the hands of modern embroiderers. All the papers are published here, together with an illustrated catalogue of the caskets, picture panels exhibited at the Ashmolean, and in the specially created textile galleries of Knitting and Stitching Show of 2018. So there you go. Anyway, just thought I'd show you that. It's nice to pick up. Got this. I googled this after I, you know, when I got home. And there are a few copies, but they don't have cassette written on the top. They have something else, and I can't remember what it is now. But it's the same picture, and then it's knitting patterns. And this is basically knitting patterns for the machine. So it's machinery knitting. From, I mean, it looks to me like it's 60s, 70s. Doesn't give a date. And it says it was printed in China. Oh, Japan, sorry, I beg your pardon. And you can see there are some spelling errors, or, you know, grammatical errors. Anyway, it does say the new pattern card cassette from the latest from Brother. Actually, that's what it says. It says Brother Knitting Patterns. So if you go online, you want a copy of this, just for the pages alone, not necessarily for the I mean, I just think these would be fabulous in our journals as pages, and I wouldn't have any qualms about it, to be honest. So these pages here are obviously the diagrams, or whatever they're called, and then these, and they're sort of matte, and then you've got these very matte pages that are stained, you know, with time and with that brown staining, and they're very matte as well. And then ultimately at the front you've got these glossy pages here showing the different patterns, and they are lovely. I don't know if somebody would be interested in this, but there are a few copies, so I don't know whether it's of any importance to anyone. But anyway, I thought it would be a lovely book to use in my journals. And then, and then I've got this one. I'll just check that you can see it all, and it's the Complete Guide to Needlework Techniques and Materials, consultant editor Mary Gostelow, and this was probably 80s. Let's have a look. 83. Yeah, so this is the 83 edition. The first edition was 82. And the thing I love about this book is the historical references, and just the sort of, you know, well, just everything about it. I just love it. When I saw it, I was like, oh yes, I have to have this. This is just the type of book that I would go for, out of interest, and just to look through for inspiration and all of that. And I'm so pleased to have got a copy. I paid £1 for this, guys, so, but look at this. Now, you know, if you follow my channel, you might be aware that I'm not really an embroiderer. I would like to do more embroidery, but I'm just not, you know, I don't, haven't taken the time to develop any skills. So, but anyway, this is a lovely book to own. If you know, found, if there's lots of copies available and you wanted a copy, I'm pretty sure you could pick it up reasonably priced. And then if you're a junk journaler, you might want to use some of these images in your journals. I would, if I had more than one copy. But at the moment, I'm not going to search out for a second copy. I'm just going to keep this as a lovely reference book to look through and to get inspiration from. But like I say, you know, there are people who would, I mean, just looking at these and these images and then these, just beautiful. Yeah, anyway, so I thought I'd show you those. I think that's it for books at the moment. I think I do have a couple of other ones, but I'm not sure where they are. The next thing I wanted to show you, I promised I would show you, so I will. Japanese fabrics, I believe, from the Vintage Sewing Nook on Etsy. So there's not a lot here, and there was only, I believe there was only one pile. There might be more now. She may have refreshed. But these are authentic vintage Japanese fabrics and beautiful. I just love them. I just love the colours. I love the designs. Very small pieces, as you can see, so I would use these very sparingly in my work. There's a piece there. I mean, you know, I'm over the moon to have found them, if I'm honest, because I did find a pack of them not that long ago, not like this. They weren't like this, but these are reclaimed, obviously. Well, not obviously, but yeah, they are reclaimed. And I did find a pack of different ones that I bought last year, and so this one, I just love them. I wish you could feel the texture of them because they're very thick. Let me just see about a needle, do a needle test. Yeah, they're thick to get through. That one is particularly hard to get through. I suspect this one will be. Because they're very stiff as well. Oh, that one, yeah, that one is very stiff. So I don't know if they're treated with anything, but they're so tightly woven. Anyway, just beautiful. I'm so glad to have gotten these. You know, they weren't massively expensive. Well, they weren't expensive. They were for this little pack. I mean, it's all relative, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's how much you're willing to pay, but they were only £16. I thought that was very reasonable for a pack of authentic vintage woven Japanese fabric. So there we go. So that's my little pack of those, which I will use very sparingly, and they will probably be, you know, in my box of special fabrics. I have a box here. I was going through it yesterday. So these are some of my antique and vintage fabrics and laces. So actually some of them are not. Some of these are new. But I don't know why they would be in there. Yeah, I bought these recently, and then I have some really beautiful vintage and antique laces in here as well. Oh yeah, there's things at the bottom of the pile. I'll show you them at some point. I'll go through them. I don't know if I'll do it today, but I will do it at some point. Pop that in there. What I wanted to show you next is I promised I would show you more of those laundered linens that I did recently. just grab them, that I got in that you know, hoard that I bought recently. And I mean, you know, this is just, again, this is another pile of them that isn't complete. You know, there's still more to come, but I'll take you through them. I mean, you know, I don't want it to look like I'm boasting about these things. Oh, yeah, this is dyed fabric. I dyed this with nettle, so that's nettle dyed fabric there, right there. Some of the ones that you saw, maybe. Right, I'm going to put them on the floor so I can easily manage them. So we've got this beautiful piece. A lot of them are damaged, which, you know, in some ways makes it more easy for me to then use in my projects. So yeah, and then I've got lots of these. I haven't ironed them yet, but you know, I thought I would show you now because I'm going to do some slow stitch tomorrow probably, or later today, and then put a video up. So these, yeah, so lots of these that I will be using. They're in good condition. They looked like they hadn't even been used. And then, you know, round pieces like this with the border. And again, a little bit damaged in some areas, but again, that doesn't bother me. And I have a few pieces like this. So these would be napkins. They might be a set that you would put on a dressing table or a bureau of some sort. Lovely crocheted edge, and they are linen. So a few of those. So this one I might have showed you in the original video. I washed it, couldn't get the stains out. I'd soaked it as well, but isn't it lovely? And I would use that in my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery project coming up, I believe. I would use that one. And then this one, again, couldn't get the stains out, so I'm going to use it. And it's just beautiful. I love the design. It's got, I don't know if you can see, it's almost as if it's seed stitched. So it would probably done, well, I don't know how it would be done. And then it has these tiny, tiny flowers. So you've got this seed type stitching, and then these tiny flowers which you can barely make out. It's beautiful. I don't know how old it is, but I suspect it's quite old. This sort of thing, doily, just needs pulling back into shape. As I say, I washed these, and some of them I washed by hand and some I washed in the machine. I have a set of these stained. These are linen. It's a very coarsely woven linen, but I love the applique details on them. Gorgeous. And there is a set, so you'll see more of those. There's a big set of these, and I'm going to be using these in my home. As well, this one's a larger one, but they're smaller ones, and I'm going to be using some of them as coasters in my home. Excuse my nails, by the way. I've been doing bits around the garden and what have you this morning. And then little things like this. There's a larger piece of this with this edging. It's very pretty. Another piece of with a green sort of applique. And there's quite a few of those as well. Another one of those and those. You can see they're stained. A lot of these were stained, and in some ways that helps me because I find it so hard to use my linens that I keep in my drawer. I've got a lot that I keep in my drawer that I just pull out every now and again, but because these are stained, I'd be really happy to use them. This will be used in my project. Put them there. Then lots of these. I love these actually. And there's a set of the smaller ones to go with it, a big set. There's about, they're probably coasters actually, so these are probably dinner, you know, placemats. Yeah, placemats. And then I don't know how many of these I've got. I don't think I've got many, but there's a lot of these smaller ones. So yeah, this little beautiful little one, the blue edge, I love this. Another one of those, oh, a different one, but this time very soft, beautifully soft. Yeah, I'll try and go through them as quickly as I can. Another one of these. I realised these, I don't think these are towels. I think these were used as, they were put on the backs of chairs, so they hung over you know, a comfy chair in the lounge, or in your, you know, some people at the time might have called them the parlour, and they went over the back of a chair. Yeah, so anyway, that's lovely. Slightly damaged. And then I've got this, very nice. I've got some staining on it that I couldn't get out. I really tried to get the staining out, but it is what it is. These are old and they've been stored not very well, and not very well looked after. Some of them had, but to be fair, but not all of them. And you get these sort of rusty coloured marks on things. And then you've got this one. I love this one because, well, I like it generally, but I love these little flowers, these raised flowers on that one. I think that's a bit special. This type of thing, again, embroidered on the edges. What's... I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. It's very, yeah, looks like it's done with a machine. And on the same on that side as well. Pretty, very pretty. This, you've seen this. This was, I've got a couple of these. You would have seen it in the last video because I started to use the squares. A little piece there. I think I might have taken that. Okay, keep going, keep going. So more of that. That's the one I'm talking about, and that's another one that I'm talking about. So I think they are coasters. Aren't they pretty? They're just lovely, and there's a lot of them. Like a you know, a big amount. This crocheted piece, I love that. It's very thick, but I do love it. Another one of those chair back things. I don't know what chair cloths. I don't know. Rachel called them hand towels, but hers might have been hand towels. So Rachel of Roxy Creations, I mean. But I think some of them might be chair backs. I don't know what else to call them. This lovely one, very nice. It's got that design in the middle again. Just let you see it. Very nice. And this one with a little Irish cottage. This would be Irish linen. The little Irish cottage and then a little cottage on there. Sweet. And love this. I love this. I love this. I mean, who wouldn't? But I love the centre as well. It's just beautiful. These sorts of things. Doilies. Yeah, nobody replied about these. Does anybody know what those are? Those little red numbers on things. I don't know what they would be from. Is that called tatting? No idea, but really pretty. More of that. And these. And then these. That one is different again. I need to sort them into piles of things. Oh, that's pretty. Love the edging on that one. And it is linen. It's got that lovely linen-y soft feel. More of that. And just a plain square. I think I showed you one of the other ones. Another one of those. That. And again, I'm just repeating now. Let me just check. So another. And you can see there's a lot of those. It came in a big pack. Love this. I love that. And I love the detail of how it was done on the back. It's interesting, they've used a dark blue thread to go around that one. And it's got a dark blue flower, and the others have all got light grey flowers on them, so interesting. Yeah, she must have run out of thread or something. I don't know why you would do that, but I mean, I'm not complaining, I'm not criticising. It's, you know, it's lovely to know that somebody held this in their hand and did this stitching and enjoyed what they were doing. Another one of those. As you can see, this is in pretty poor condition, perfect for using up in a project. And then remove those, and then we've got this one, quite rough texture. I don't know what it's made from. It's got a little, you know, tear there, but easily mended if I was of a mind to do so, but I love it. More of those, a larger one. Oh, you can see the stitching on there. Oh, these are hand done. They're hand stitched. Wow, somebody worked hard on them. Another one of those. Larger one of those. Lovely embroidered piece, badly stained, and also it's been mended, which is amazing. Somebody really loved this one. They'd obviously taken the care to do the embroidery, and then because it started to get threadbare, they wanted to make sure that it lasted longer. I love that. Yeah, I love that. And then that pretty piece. I used a piece of that from the same cloth, a different one, but the same, in one of my projects recently. This is lovely. I don't know if I showed you this. I just love the stitching in that. Silky, and then cotton on the back. Very pretty. Yeah, I did mention it because I mentioned about the lighter colour on the edge and whether they ran out of thread. Otherwise, why would you do that? But I love it. Yeah, really love that. This pretty one. Lovely doily there. And that one. This gorgeous, very delicate one. Sorry, I'm going fast now because, you know, I don't want to be on all day. And then this pretty piece with two different, you know, colours, blue and then purple, with the main colour. Gorgeous. Somebody knows their colour combinations. And this one is the larger piece. Look at that. That would be the centre piece, I guess. Beautiful. I actually really love that, the green. Very vintagey looking. You do need an iron. That's the piece that I took a little piece off that was I recently used. There's another embroidered piece here. Linen. And it's got these lovely embroideries around the edge. It's in very good condition and I can't see any stains on this one. There we go, so I wouldn't be using it in a stitching project at the moment anyway. I like to, if they're in really good condition, I wouldn't use them. at the moment in this project. This, I love this. This is a table runner, and it is damaged, stained. It's linen, and it has this lovely lace detail and, you know, panel on the edge here, and obviously on the other side. It's not damaged, I don't believe, apart from the, you know, the damage to this bit. The lace isn't damaged at this stage. I don't know, it's not. It's still intact. So yeah, I love that piece. I've been looking for something like this to make a hussif, so I might do that with something like that. I've got blue doily there. That's very thick. Feels like wool. Somebody put a lot of work into that. Another one of those, and then a pretty little one of those. We saw the larger version. Okay, I think we're coming to the end now. I've got this silky, satiny pillowcase or cushion cover, which I washed. So it needs an iron. I knew this would happen. I didn't even know if I could wash it by hand, but I did. And then, you know, obviously it's creased up. It's got some it's threadbare in some places, but it has that lovely stitching on and a lovely little blue border around the edge. So that's really pretty. I think these are mostly the same, you know, as the other pieces, mostly. Love that with those pliqued edges again. Another one of those, and she did the same again, so she obviously didn't run out of thread. She just chose to do that. It's got holes in and it's lovely. So it's interesting. I find that interesting actually. And then that lovely piece, it is stained, but I like the little flowers on there and the daisy on that one. So a leaf, they're all different actually. Leaf, daisy. I consider using that. It is stained. Coming to the end. Got this piece here, which I think I might have showed you in one of my other videos. It's large and it is has a monogram on it. Oh, it's upside down, sorry. LH. Very nice, and it's in good condition, and it has this beautiful lace around the edge. So it has got some staining on it, but generally in good condition. Okay, I'll save that a minute. Right, so you've got that. She's a little bit different. The nice green thread. Another one of those, a larger one. I'll open it up so you can see what it looks like as a larger piece. And another longer piece like that. Again, I mean, this has been darned, but it's got this lovely lace on the edge here, very decorative, stained and darned, but so well loved piece. Again, I'm considering what to do with that. Love it. Right, I've come to the end. I do have more to show you, but I'll do it, you know, in a while. I won't show you anymore. This is the piece that I wanted to show you. It is stunning. It's linen. When I first bought it, it was very, very stiff, and it was obviously coated in something, and I washed it, and it's now a bit softer, but it is still quite rough to touch. So you can see it's quite an open weave, and it has these beautiful flowers, and I mean, I can't show you it all because it's just too large, but there you can see there is some staining on it, but yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, really happy with that. Stunning. It would look beautiful. I mean, I won't use this, it's too pretty. It's got these lovely little daisies here, I think the colours and everything about it is just gorgeous. So I'll show you that. And then I'll just show you something I picked up at a charity shop the other day. There are some more pieces, but I think I'll leave it for another time. Yeah, I'll leave it for another time. Yeah, I just wanted to show you this. This is just for inspiration, really. So I picked this up at a charity shop recently, and I thought it was interesting. When I first saw it, I thought, well, this is interesting. It's got fabric buttons, so and they look quite old to me. They're damaged, quite old. It looks like something you would wear underneath something. I mean, it's got no, let me just check. No, it hasn't got any labels on it. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this is old, or do you think it's modern? Because I'm inclined to think this is quite old. It's got a little sort of, you know, bit at the bottom there. The reason is just because of the buttons. But if you can tell me if these buttons came, you know, more recently, but the fact that there's no label in it as well, I don't know. Anyway, I washed it, so it's lovely and clean, but it's damaged on the back, and the lady gave me it for 20p. It's got some rips on the back, so let me know if you think this might be old. I think it could be. I do. Let me know what you think. Beautiful. Anyway, when I saw it, I didn't think of it as a garment. I saw it as a piece of fabric that I could use. But now when I see it like this, I just think it's very, very pretty and unusual, I guess. So let me know what you think. And lovely. Look at the arms. Yeah, I mean, I'm at least maybe it might be yeah, at least it might be a vintage anyway. But I just thought I'd show you that. I did pick up a skirt, but I can't. Oh, well, let me just show you it actually. A bag of more. Oh, well, I'll show you this as well. So I picked up two things in this charity shop, three things. So I picked up this skirt that I washed. It's linen. Actually, no. Yes, it is linen. And it's got this broderie anglais, dyed broderie anglais, and this along it as well. I wouldn't wear it personally. I don't wear skirts anyway. And I know somebody could have got some wear out of it, but it was pretty grubby when I bought it. It wasn't nice to look at. But I just imagined how it would look cut up, and there's so many uses. It looks tie-dyed a little bit, unless it's just faded. So much fabric in this, which is why it looks very bulky. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you that. Really happy with it. I think I paid £2 for that. And then this is from Fat Face, which is a brand in the UK. Sorry if I'm flipping fabric around. It's stained. It's a lovely little dress. I initially saw it and thought of my niece, because it would probably fit her. It's teeny tiny. But then I saw that the arm was stained, the arms were stained, and then I saw that. So I washed it, and then it's got the underskirt as well, and I washed it, and I just thought this would be beautiful fabric in my stash. So, you know, when you go out and you look for things, don't just look for vintage fabrics. Look, you know, in the ladies sections, the men's sections actually as well, shirts and things like that, you're going to get some really nice fabrics to use that you can cut up and use in your journal, in your projects. So those two things that I thought I'd show you as well. So I think that's it. I've been on a long time, but I just wanted to show you some things, try and inspire you. That this is the dye. Let me just get something white for you so you can see. Right, so this was the same. This was pillowcase, maybe a bit. Maybe this is cream actually. It was white. So this was a white pillowcase, and you can see the difference. This is dyed using nettles, stinging nettles. You can see little bits of dried stinging nettle on there. I obviously didn't rinse it as well as I should have. I did mordant it with alum. I did scour the fabric beforehand because these are vintage pillowcases and they needed a good wash. But yeah, really happy with the results. Could have been a little bit darker, would have been nice, but this isn't going to fade, I don't believe, because of the pre-treatment that I gave it. But I'm looking for a darker colour, so I'm going to be doing another session. I might try and film it actually, see if I can get a darker colour. You know, go and pick some nettles, see what I can get. And then I think if I add, I'm going to try so I used alum for this one, in this one, but I'm going to try and use soya milk in the next one, because apparently that gives you a darker colour. So yeah, just thought I'd show you that. So, oh, there is one more thing I can show you. Oh, here it is. Just wanted to show you this. Right, so last year I did some dyeing, some eco dyeing, and I got some reasonable results. I didn't put any sort of iron in there or rust, but I got some really nice blues, nice impressions of leaves and things like that. So I was really happy with these pieces. They might not be to everybody's taste, but I really like them. And yeah, very happy with those results. Now this time, while I was doing mordanting the fabric and for the nettle dyed fabrics, I kept some aside to do some dyeing with, some eco dyeing with, and then this is the result of the eco dyeing. It's not, I mean, there are some really beautiful parts to it. The grey is from the rust that I added. You can see a nice, this was Coreopsis flower, some lead. These were, let me just show you this side. These leaves, I think they're willow. There was rose leaves as well. I'm not saying it's not pretty and useful. I mean, and you can see the string marks there. I didn't mind that because it was right on the edge. So yeah, so this one I did add, which is where you get the black rust. And then this is the other one, the other piece. So they're very similar, but they've got these darker greys and yeah, actually do you know what, they've been developing still, because they weren't as prominent as that. I know for a fact they weren't, because they were hanging up. I've got photographs of them. So they've actually been continuing to develop. That's rose, and then more Coreopsis flowers. So yeah, really pleased. Slightly different but similar. These have more of a greeny colour, and these have that grey colour that I was looking for. So I just thought I'd show you those as well. So I did these a couple of days ago, and I'll put a photograph up on one of my posts So yeah, just thought I'd show you that. I'm doing some more dyeing this week. I was going to be going away, but now I'm staying home and I'm going to be doing lots of different things. And hopefully you'll be joining me. So anyway, I'll leave it here. Take care, everyone. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, by the way, and I will see you again very soon. Bye for now.